Hey guys, welcome to Speak Audibly's 100% Me podcast. It is me, Coach Mike T, and I am here to let you know that I have another amazing episode for you with Miss Sharyns Warren Smith of Percenteum Financial Solutions. Sharyns is an amazing individual, as you will see in this podcast. But before we jump into it, remember that Speak Audibly Business Partners is here for you. If you're looking to get your business to the next level here in 2021, be sure to go down in the show notes below and reach out. We'll be glad to take care of you. Now, let's jump to the podcast. All right, guys, as I mentioned in the introduction, I am here with Miss Sharyns Warren Smith of Percenteum Financial Solutions, LLC. Sharyns, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Of course. Now, before we jump into anything too deep, guys, I want you to hear from Miss Sharyns. Sharyns, tell us about you, your family, your business.
Sure. So I currently live in the Little Elm, Texas area. I've been married for about 23 years to my college sweetheart. I have four children, ages 25, 22, 20, and 19. So pretty busy
Wow.
there. I've been in the finance profession for about 22 and a half years now. And so recently, with the onset of COVID, I've watched
Mhm.
small businesses just kind of fail. And in speaking to some of these small business owners, I realized they just don't have the system that Fortune 500 companies use to stay in business and weather tough times. So Percenteum Financial Solutions was created to help teach them this system. And I call my system Purpose Plan Profit so that we get down to the heart of what are your natural abilities, because
Mm,
that's where your fortune lies. And making a plan that you can stick to with financial goals for you and your family. And then comes the profit, tracking that profit, making sure that you pivot your business as needed, but always on top of those three things.
wow. You just laid on a lot of information right there. Like, that is amazing, first and foremost. And guys, I have to tell you, we are in the Motivated Ones series right now. I hope just in that quick introduction of herself, you understand why she is on this episode, why she is in this series. She's highly motivated. That is awesome. So begin to break this down for us, okay? Because you're right. When it comes to the coronavirus and COVID-19 and everything that has happened just in the last 6 months here in our country, it has just been remarkable. The people and the businesses that have really kind of closed down, and I mean, we were in a rough place here a few
Yes.
months back, and some people are still trying to recover from that. So, when it comes to Percenium Financial, what are some of the things that you offer, and who are the people that you really kind of say, you know what, my services and my offerings are really directed at these individuals?
Sure, absolutely. So I offer a few different plans. So one plan is for those who have never started a business before, but they have a passion and a heart and a purpose for doing one particular thing. So before
Mhm.
they even enter my program, I have a short ebook called Remember Who You Are. And it basically helps you get down and hone in on what your purpose is in this life. And it kind of triggers for you, am I going into the right business? And if you're
Mm,
already in business, it kind of makes you think, am I in the right business? Because if you're not in the right business, that could be one reason why you're failing as well. And so
wow.
I walk you through this program once you've decided, yes, this is the right business, this is my purpose. Then I walk you through who is your ideal client. You have to be able to narrow down who exactly is going to need and want your product and find value in it. Then I help you to develop that offering, the marketing behind it, the brand behind who you are and who you want to be represented for you, and make sure that you are tracking everything, tracking your clients, tracking your sales, tracking your profit, tracking your ads, and teaching people basic things like having a separate bank account for your personal and business
Mm,
finances. That is such a big thing that I see so
that's
many
key.
fail at, and not getting into get rich quick schemes. Wealth building takes time and patience, and it's very
Yeah.
intentional. So, making sure that those principles are taught. In addition to that, I do some brand building, and that's in my plus plan. And help people to kind of define that, because, as you know, the brands that are defined well, they do the best. I mean,
That's it.
everybody knows Nike, just do it. You know, you don't have to
That's
think
it.
about it, you just know it. So getting people to have those taglines that are meaningful, that really reach their audience. And the
Mhm.
third offering that I have is for existing businesses that maybe they're stuck. Maybe they don't have a good brand, or maybe they don't know how to control their expenses. So I offer consulting for them. I offer a 90-day program. And then once we've gotten or addressed whatever issue it is that they're facing, then put them on a consulting plan where they talk to me on a regular basis to make sure that they're always pivoting in the right direction.
That is awesome. Now, when it comes to your college sweetheart and husband, when you began to get into this side of things as an entrepreneur, what was his words? What were his support for you in this?
He was like, whatever you want me to do. He knows that I've been trying to find a way to get out of the corporate world for some time now. And he knows that I've been just sort of hitting that glass ceiling for like the
Mhm.
last 5 years. And at some point, it just began to get to me and weigh me down. And,
Mhm.
almost depressing in a way to have skills and ideas and just really want to share them, but not being able to. And so when we made this decision, he said, I don't care if we have to sell the house.
That's
I'm going to
it.
make sure that your
Wow.
dream comes true. So it was just such a wonderful thing to have that support 100%.
Wow. 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 You see, guys, Sharon hit on a very, very key thing right there. There are so many individuals out here who, first off, they don't know what they don't know. But secondly, it's like, where does the support come from? Because I have this feeling I want to do this thing. I don't know where to begin. I'm hitting the ceiling. And then they sit back down in the cubicle, right? And they
That's
kind of
exactly what happens.
yeah.
Exactly.
And so that support you are going to be, and you are setting yourself up as a support for so many small business
Yeah.
owners, and really anyone in that gamut. So what got you interested in coaching and being in finances, and like, tell us the story, take us back. Was this a college dream you had, or where did the finances start?
It's actually a really funny story. So, when I was in college, I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do like most people. I started out as a political science major, and I realized very quickly law was boring to me. So, I got out of that and I said, you know what? I love to read and I love to write. So, I became an English literature major, and that's what I got my BA in from the University of Oklahoma. Well, back in, the mid 90s, you only had to have a degree to get pretty much any job, right? It wasn't as
Sure.
specific as it is now. So I started working out as an administrative assistant temp. And one of the places that I was temping at, they did project management accounting. And so one day she was a little bit short staffed, the supervisor was, and she said, do you want to learn how to do this? And I said, well, I might as well. I'm just sitting here, right? So
Yeah.
I have been in finance and accounting ever since. I went back and got my MBA back in 2017, and that was a bit of a challenge too. I had started out in 2010, and life just happened. So things happened, and it took me 7 years to get it. But I say that to let people know, don't stop, keep
That's
going.
it.
Life happens. Just go around, go up, go through, but definitely finish that. And so each time I went back into the profession, I was able to move up the ladder a little bit with the MBA and all of that. And I'm just a sponge. I love to
Wow.
learn. I mean, I sit in the rooms with executives of multi-billion-dollar corporations, and I just see their system, and it's simple. I mean, obviously the details you have to work out, but the system
Right.
is very simple. And I learned that system, and I just had the urge and the desire to go teach it to small business
Mhm.
owners because again, it can work for them if they just apply it.
That is that is awesome. I mean, it definitely is a journey, so don't stop believing. If y'all catch what I just
Absolutely.
did there, right?
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. As someone who also helps small business owners and coaches individuals, Sharon's kind of life journey is, again, I'm gonna tell you a little secret here. When it comes to copywriting and finance, she says she loves to read and write, and she loves finance. She got into accounting. Like those two things right there. If you were able to begin, not even to have to master them, but if you just had an understanding of both
Mhm.
copywriting and financing, that was, you said that, I'm like, wow, that puzzle just dropped. Like that's what I love. We are two peas in a pod, mama. Two peas in a pod. But guys, so tell me one more time, when it comes to your kids,
Mhm.
did that apple fall way far from the tree, or is it like they love kind of the same things you're in? Are they entrepreneurs? What are they doing with their lives?
So it's pretty close. My oldest son, he's graduating from the University of Texas at Dallas this fall, and
Okay.
he's in computer software engineering. So he's very mathematically minded. He's been a manager at different places where he's worked since he was about 18. So he just has
Okay.
that leadership ability that I know will just catapult him forward. And I'm trying to get him into entrepreneurship because I don't want him to even start out working for somebody else and getting in that rut. So we are working on that as we speak. My second oldest daughter, she works at the Crayola Experience in Willow Bend, and she's a little bit delayed in terms of being special needs, but we're getting her to where she wants to be able to go to school and making sure that she has all the things that she needs to be successful.
Wow.
And my third daughter, she's currently at Collin Community College, and she's anticipating either transferring to UNT or the University of Oklahoma. And she is a character. She's my funny girl. She's my outgoing girl. She has her own podcast. So she's very much her own person and will be probably the entrepreneur in the family too. And then
Wow.
my youngest son, he's also mathematically minded. So he's also majoring in computer software engineering at the University of Oklahoma, and he's in his second year there. So yeah,
That is
pretty
awesome.
good kids.
Yes, no, that's inspiring. I have three sons, and I hope for them to become individuals that definitely contribute to society. And
Yes,
speaking of society, I mean, we're in a weird season right now, being that it's political season, right? And
yes,
by the time this episode airs, guys, we will know exactly who our president is.
yes,
But
yes.
today,
Wow.
but today it's like, whoa, okay, okay. So have you seen this season either a negatively or positively impact your business and what you're doing?
It has actually been very positive because people are hungry for the information that will help them to sustain their businesses. And
Mhm.
people, now that they've been at home, they realize they've been miserable going to the office day after day and they're ready to get started. And so having someone to come and say, hey, nail down your purpose and give them a guide for that is exhilarating. I've seen people just come alive knowing that, wow, I really do have a purpose and I really can monetize it.
Wow. Wow, no, that's great. I mean, I know when we do what we do as coaches, consultants, strategists, you have to kind of like people a little bit.
Yes,
What
you
kind of
do.
gave you that heart for people?
So, when I was young, I was a bit of an introvert. And so I had a few friends here and there. And this is a funny story. I was a Mary Kay sales rep back in
Okay.
2013 for a couple of years. And I tell you, that company really has relationship building down. So it taught me how to do soft sales, taught me how to build
Mhm.
relationships and focus on people first. And I really credit that going through that experience with really beginning to develop relationships with people. So I've learned how to be diplomatic. I've learned how to listen. And even with
That's
my
good.
job, in the corporate world, that was the one thing that all of the people that I supported would say is that you actually listen. And even though you're in finance, and usually people are afraid of finance people, they're like, we love you. You make us laugh and you make us happy to see you coming. So,
Truth, truth. That's so true. Yeah, whenever you get across that person who knows all the numbers, it's kind of like, oh, is this going to compute relationally or not? That is awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, I have family who's I mean currently in Mary Kay, and again, just like you said, that journey and that company and how they've
yes,
literally developed people and relationships. That's what this thing is all about. I mean,
yes,
you guys have heard it on this podcast a few different times where I would make the comment of not necessarily being salesmen or saleswomen, but being relationship men and relationship women, right? Because if
yes,
someone is, of course, a jerk, even though their prices are cheap,
right.
you're not messing with them,
No.
right? You're going to the people like Sharon. And so,
Yeah.
Sharon, when it comes to your business and your clientele, do they look at you as like a coach, or are they like, no, this is my friend Sharon?
They're like, this is my friend Sharon, and she's giving me information in a way that's simple and not intimidating. And so, with my private Facebook group, that's what I do. I ask questions in a non intimidating way, give advice that's simple to follow. And people think, wow, you're awesome. You're just like my sister, you know? And I
That's
think
it.
that's important because it helps to sort of demystifies the financial world and demystifies being successful in a business. It's really not that complicated. You just have to be intentional and plan.
That's it. Wow. See, I love that. And I have that same exact thought when I look at everything that you're posting. Guys, I'm going to go ahead
Yes.
and put that in the links as well, along with your ebook. We'll link that in the show notes below. But we're
Awesome.
going to put that group down there if that's okay with you, Miss Sharon, because I want you
Yes,
guys to see
absolutely.
this information that she's putting in this group. I mean, she has so many different things from mullet over Mondays. I mean, it's just it's an awesome group to be a part of and to just see the communication going through and what she's giving because this is real knowledge.
Yeah.
This is real wisdom, things that she's actually walked through, she's putting in here. And you guys have heard her journey. You've heard the journey, and exactly what she's telling you is exactly what you will get 100%. I feel like I've known you forever, and it's only been a couple weeks.
I know.
I mean, this
That's
it is,
awesome.
but that's what it's all about, guys. And that's
Yes.
how you know when you've got someone real, when you have someone that keeps it 100, who understands not only the relationship side of it, but she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is a
Thank
coach that
you.
knows her stuff. And so we'll have all those links in the show notes below. But let's keep talking here because I
Sure,
just love
absolutely.
this. So when it comes to walking into the place of your place of work,
Yes.
right, and you have customers and clients coming in that are all I'm guessing they're all kind of across the spectrum. Is there like a specific customer that you have at your job?
So at my job, I support different product groups. So they're assigned to us. And so you pretty much have to be able to work with anybody. And so I've just been able to just connect with people. I know exactly what they want. And when you can figure out exactly what someone needs and wants
Yes,
and you give it to them, I'm telling you, you will find success like never before. And with my business, transitioning over to that, just within the last few weeks of launching, I've already signed up two customers because one, I walked them through the process of find your purpose, right? And then the
that's
second
it.
part of how does this apply? How can you monetize this? And you don't rush people. I mean, this is a
Right.
very serious thing, and they need to be able to count the costs and weigh exactly how they're going to be successful. And once you show that to them, they're ready to go.
That is it. And again, guys, these aren't questions that we have scripted. She's just that real that I can sense like, okay, you can pretty much put anyone in front of you, Miss Sharon,
Yes,
and you will help them find that purpose. You will help them begin to plan out literally those profits that come
yes,
along in the future, right? And so that
yes,
is awesome. So ultimately, I have one question for you here, and
absolutely.
and it comes out of The Dark Knight, the Batman movies from early 2000s, right? And I love it. But at the end of that first Batman, that Dark Knight movie, he's kind of framing himself as the killer of Harvey Dent. And when the police chief is like, "Why are you framing yourself?" Like he says, "The people don't need a hero right now." And with that,
Uh-huh.
the movie's about to end. It gets dark. He's running. There's cops and dogs chasing him, and it's like, "Oh snap! He's going into hiding. He's going off the grid." If you had to go into hiding for any reason, if you had to go off the grid, what is one last kind of piece of encouragement that you would give the people of our city, the people of DFW area, or even the world to say, you know what, these are my final words before I go off the grid?
I would say stay true to your purpose because no matter what comes along, if you stay true to that, you will spread light wherever you go, and pretty soon that darkness is going to dissipate.
Come on. Come on. Uh-oh. I think Miss Aaron preaching up in here. Hey, come on. Amen. I like that. I like that. Be true to yourself. Be true to your purpose, guys. And when it comes to your business, if you're saying, you know what, I'm having a hard time either finding my purpose or understanding how to bring my purpose into fruition and literally be able to build something off of this, I want you guys to go into those show notes and I want you to contact Miss Sharon. Miss Sharon, what
Yes,
is the
absolutely.
absolute best way to contact you?
I would say contact me through Facebook Messenger. I'm on there. I will get your message immediately. I'm still in the process of building up my website, so that is the quickest and the fastest way to reach me. And one thing I want to add is I offer a 30-minute strategy session that's completely free. My calendar will be out there, and you can just sign up for a time and let's just chat.
That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. All of Miss Sharon's information is in the show notes below. Again, if you're thinking to yourself, regardless of what stage of business you're in, whether you're just getting started, you're trying to launch this thing, whether you've been doing this for a while, and you're like, you know what, I need help with these finances. And maybe some of you guys even heard, like, hold on, I need a separate account for this stuff.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, you do. Okay.
absolutely.
I want you to go in those show notes and contact Miss Sharon Warren Smith and have her walk you through these things. Give her, I mean, you see the smile. This is a genuine woman right here. This is
Thank you.
100%. Okay. This is 100%. Go in there, make a new friend. contact Miss Sharyns below. Miss Sharyns, I want to say thank you so much for your heart. That's
Thank
one
you
of
so
the
much
things
for
that I
having me.
really, of course, but that's one of the things that I really try to kind of situate on this podcast. This is a platform for not just anybody, because I say no to a lot of people. There's some jerks out there. Like
Right.
there
You
are
got to
some
be
serious
careful.
jerks. And so when I find people that just have hearts of gold like yourself, and you not only do you have such a great heart for people, but you actually know what you're talking about.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you so much for being on the show and giving that wisdom again, guys. Last time, go into the show notes. Go into those show notes and contact Miss Sharyns. Guys, I'm Mike Wilson for Speak Audibly's 100% Me podcast. Again, get in those show notes and contact her. We'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast with Ms. Sharyns Warren Smith of Percenteum Financial Solutions. Whether you're just getting started in a business or whether you've been in business for a while, go into the show notes and reach out to her if you're needing any sort of backup, any sort of assistance with getting that offer right. She is here to help you guys. So, again, this is Speak Audibly. You have a voice. Let it be heard. We'll talk to you soon.